Welcome to the first finale of Ascendance Live. First off, we just want to thank you all for the positive feedback, encouragement, and suggestions we've received all season. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing on all our platforms all season long. And a special thank you to our Patreons who will get a special sneak peek of Season 2, which we'll film in just a few short months. Each of you helping to make this a reality has meant so much, and we look forward to creating many more successful seasons. Last episode, the cast anxiously waited to see who would be the final three in the first season of Ascendance Live. Because of another tie this season, Michelle and Stephanie found themselves in the first face-off of the series, having to complete the Tetris and fill up their boards the fastest. Stephanie made quick work and snagged her spot in the final three, sending Michelle to the jury, and making Edmund, Peyton, and Stephanie the first final three of Ascendance Live. Part 1 of the final challenge made the players complete total recall. And remember the captain challenges, winning teams, and eliminated players for each round this season. After a lot of checking, Edmund finally recalled all the facts and secured his spot in the third part of this challenge. Part 2, Stephanie and Peyton went head to head and pushed it to the limit by pushing the shapes from right to left. Neither of them seemed to know the strategy, and Stephanie seemed calm, and Peyton frantically tried to get things in shape, finally getting a handle on things and locked in his spot in the third part of the challenge. In Remember Me, the jurors got to speak their minds and make sure the final three remembered what got them to the end. Going into the final question, Peyton leads Edmund by 1 point. Will Edmund tie the score and force another tiebreaker this season? 3 Ascendance Org vets sit in the final 3, so close to clinching a win. Both Edmund and Peyton won this final challenge in their season of the Ascendance Org. Peyton chose to send Jeff to jury and lost his vote and took second in season 1. Edmund chose to take Patrick to the end and won in a clean sweep season 2. Stephanie has already broken her curse of always getting 7th place in Ascendance. Is this her season to finally grab the crown? Will Peyton go from 2nd to 1st? Or will Edmund clinch the win once again? Soon 9 jurors will hear the final pleas of 2 players who have fought all season to sit in the end. And one of them will ascend to the top and be the winner of the first season of Ascendance Live. Find out who tonight.
Which makes the correct answer King. Peyton got a point, putting him in the lead 5-4. And we are moving on to our final question, Michelle. Michelle's question was, the most exciting moment in the game was Ace, when I won captain at Final 7, or King, when I chose a co-captain.
Can you say that again?
Yep. The most exciting moment in the game was Ace, when I won captain at Final 7, or King, when I chose a co-captain. Are you both ready? The correct answer was...
The most exciting moment in the game was when I chose a co-captain.
Which makes the correct answer King. Congratulations, Peyton. You have won the final part of the final Captain's Challenge.
More deja vu! Season 1, let's go!
Peyton winning's fine because I know he's gonna take me to the end anyways. He'd be stupid not to.
At this point, I know my game's over.
Alrighty, once again, congratulations, Peyton, on winning the final captain's competition. You've secured your spot in the final 2. You must now choose who to eliminate, but before you do, you get to give them the option to give a speech. You get to pick who goes first.
I already know what I'm doing.
I don't really want to say anything, so it doesn't matter. I know you'll both think that you're not taking it, so you both lied to everybody in this game. The only way you're going to win is if you take the other flyer. So.
I know you were. That's why I put you into the fire.
So, first season of Ascendance Live. One of these 2 liars gets to win. So go ahead and make it official.
Okay, yeah.
Nope.
No.
We're gonna go back and...
Edmund has the option to speak if he would like
Oh,
to.
sorry, Eddie, go ahead.
I'm just gonna respect Stephanie.
Okay.
Alrighty. Peyton, come back and vote.
So the first time I played this, no one thought they could beat me, and now everyone thinks I'm here and I'm an easy beat, but I want to show people that I can win a different way.
I have the vote. When Peyton reveals the vote, the eliminated player will have a few moments to say their goodbyes and head to jury.
So I'm feeling a little bit of deja vu because I just won this comp, just like I won the final comp in Ascendance Season 1, the org. I sent Jeff home in the org, and I also sent Jeff home to jury in this season, and I lost his vote in the org, so maybe I'm hoping to change that around this time.
Okay, I just want to say that Stephanie would have peacefully to me because I did lie a lot in this game. I sincerely do believe a lot of times in LRGs, third place is often the best player anyways. But with that, I choose to eliminate Stephanie.
Shocker.
It's official, Stephanie, you have been eliminated from Ascendance Live.
Third place is far better than 7th place.
Yes, it is.
This game was like super hard. It was physically, mentally, emotionally exhausting, but it was so fun. There's a few things that I wish I could have done differently, but you can't question yourself the whole time because that's the route you took. Could I have done better? I think I played a really good game. I just knew I had to win at the end, and that's where I failed. I don't regret any of the moves I've made. I felt I was honest with a lot of people. I didn't lie to that many people. I felt that I was the same player that I normally am. I'm very social, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I was still able to do, except I was finally able to push it past that 7th place, and I'm so proud of that. Like, I did not want that when I came here. I'm sitting in 3rd place because I would have beat them. I would have beat either Edmund or Peyton at the end. I know that, and everybody knows that.
All right. So we have a full jury for season 1 of Ascendance Live. Y'all did a great job. I really appreciate everyone, but you've got one more task to do, and that is to crown a winner. So what I'm going to do is have everybody share a little bit of information, how you're feeling, what you're thinking, the things you're hoping to hear in these final speeches, and let the feelings out. I'll just put it out. I always start with the same question. Who is surprised by who's sitting in the final 2? Raise your hand. Okay. Who is here directly because of Edmund? Who is here directly because of Peyton? Okay. Next question, and this will kick off a 2-sided discussion. Tell me the things Peyton did well to get himself to the end, and tell me the things that Peyton did not do well. That is a challenge to him winning this game.
What got him here was his lying, but what also like is gonna suck is his lying. Like this is both of them. Like they're both have lied and manipulated their way. Like yeah, I know like that's like how you get to the end, but they did it to such an extent. Like I don't even know who to vote for because they both have pissed me off so much in this game. They did shots at like people that I was working with without telling me. Like they lied and manipulated about who they voted for. So like me as being third place, like I'm, to say this quite bluntly, I'm royally pissed that we have two people that we have to vote for that have lied and manipulated as much as those two.
I agree 100%.
So I don't have anything positive to say about either one right now. So if y'all could do that, I would love to hear it.
I agree that both of them lied to all of us, but coming into the game, they both knew that they were targets, and we all knew that they were targets.
There's not a single conversation that never started with Peyton and Eddie are running the game. Literally, round one, game one, I know, I was captain, I picked the team, we talked about it. So it's not on them that nobody did anything, that's on us sitting here. We didn't do anything about it, we let them get here. That's a testament to them. They might have lied and manipulated and did whatever they did. They fooled the majority of people. The people who were saying don't let them happen were the three people who went out, 1, 2, 3. I told you not to let it happen and we got taken out because of it.
But then at the same point, there was like times where we would try, but nobody would get on board.
By the time there was a time to try, the people who they had were already in their pocket. It was too late. The time
Who was in their pocket?
You were for a big part of it.
Raise your hand.
Jake
Hold on,
was.
everything I was in their pocket.
You were definitely protecting them a lot of the time.
Raise your hand if you felt that Eddie was in your pocket.
Eddie was in your pocket or you were in Eddie's pocket?
Someone,
Wait.
Well, I don't think necessarily in the pocket, but like, did I feel like we were close and that we had a genuine mind whose Mike was out? Like, yeah.
I think the other part is who had a final 2 deal with Eddie or a final 3 deal with Eddie.
Can we ask the same question about Peyton? Who had a final 2 or final 3 with Peyton? Just 2.
I will tell you this, there's a narrative that I think a lot of the jury's writing about them, including me, but they all had their own things because I want to know who had the 3 of us sat down at the end and we said these are the people that we had final 3s with. They each had different final 3s with somebody, so they obviously did what they needed to do, and I did as well. But y'all are writing this narrative of what you think they did, but they didn't do. They didn't have me in their pocket. I was never in their pocket. The only reason I ended up at the end with them is they could have took out the 2 people I was close to. So they did do what they needed to do, but I was never in their pocket. I was never protecting them. Just FYI.
I'm just curious why you're the end you went with them instead of going with us 3. We had a majority. We could have easily.
Because the whole thing at the point when freaking Peyton got the idol when I found the stupid fucking key in front of him.
Sit down.
Okay, I will answer that if you want me to as well. When I'm in a situation where I literally have a key that he solves and he has the box and he wants me to put the key in the box and I'm supposed to be helping out with him and he thinks I'm helping out with him and I tell him no, what's he gonna do? He's gonna target me. I'm not gonna do that.
I don't think any of us
I have totally agree, but I didn't have the power or the numbers. They were manipulated. Your vote, I didn't vote you. Like, I didn't do any of that stuff. They manipulated and did all that.
I think we decide, basically, we're viewing them as a pair, and I can't differentiate either of their games.
Yeah.
They're venting, but we gotta pick a winner. So,
Yeah, so you're right.
For me, I don't know, my interaction is very limited with them, and everything's exactly the same. They're a block, and so if anyone can give insight on what someone did over the other, that makes them stand out.
The telltale answer was when we all raised our hand and we had final 2 and final 3 deals with Edmund, and not as many raised their hand when we said Peyton.
Yeah, that's
and I think that's very telling that someone was way more manipulative. Both were manipulative, but I feel like one was more manipulative and played on people's emotions more than the other.
Name names for good.
Do you think emotions were played on by anyone?
Oh, for sure.
Eddie's game was 1,000,000% emotional manipulation.
It was.
That was his only way of getting involved with anyone was emotionally manipulating any scenario that he was in, whether it was self-deprivation or whatever, and making you feel like you had to do something protective.
Oh,
I agree.
Peyton, the other side of it, was he manipulative? Yes. Was it because of emotions? No. It was, Peyton walked in the door and we all said, he's a shady bitch. We should target him. He's really shady. He knows the whole world. And we were like, yeah. Later. Eddie was like, oh, my cat died. Take me to the end. Not really.
That is exactly what he did.
But he
Like
did.
there was plenty of times when he would get upset about things and come to you and be upset with you, and you felt like you had to go work with him and do stuff with him. Because one time when he picked teams, when he was the solo captain up there, he looked at He looked at Peyton and said, do you like this team? And he said, no. And he looked at me and he said, do you like this team? And I said, no. And he got emotional and he was like making me feel like I had to like do whatever he wanted to do in that moment. So she's like, y'all are absolutely right with that. Peyton, no, he didn't do that.
I also want to go back to Sarah's point of like the final 2s and 3s between Edmund and Pian. Going back to that, at Final 4, like a lot, which I don't know if they'll show it, but I was basically like, okay, break, let's go talk. And I was like, you know, someone says, oh, are we going to do one-on-ones? And, you know, I was told like, no, go in the garage. I was kind of sitting out here by myself. I was told straight to my face, you're going home, stuff like that. I made my case, obviously. I did what I could. Obviously, I thought I was way closer to Eddie than I did Peyton. I thought, you know, Peyton came in and I was like, okay, I know that, you know, game botting can sometimes happen and stuff like that. So I was like, I was a little aware of that. So I thought for sure that it's like if I could flip someone, I thought it would have been Eddie. And it's like at the end, I did have a final. I was one of, I think, only 2 people that had a final 2 with Peyton. And he straight up told me right before we went in, he's like, sorry girl, I gotta vote you. And then sitting there, he, you know, he's like sitting there and I said my thing and, you know, he actually like showed a little bit of emotion and he gave me my chance. I have to, you know, even though I'm here, but it's like he did give me a chance, and that's something that I think is, you know, a good point.
So in Ascendance, we like to say that the game is to elevate your social and your strategic game. How did or did not Peyton and Edmund elevate their social game?
Honestly, I don't think they had to elevate their social game. They came in here thinking they were the main characters. They did the fake fight. They did their fake. A lot of it was fake. They were doing stuff to make people think that this is what was going on. Some people believed it. Others didn't. They called them out on it, and those who were calling them out on it went out very early, and those who were believing it more, sorry Jake, you're a prime example of that, you believed all of it, and it was eternal, and then it got to a point where there was nothing else they could do. They didn't have to elevate their anything.
So when you said fake fight, like what are you talking about?
There was times upstairs. Peyton and Eddie 1000% planned on who was going to be the vote for the devil. It's why the teams were where they were. Because had there been one person on the opposite, it wouldn't have went down how it went down. And
I don't know if I 100% believe that, but I'm listening.
We've had more time to kind of talk about whatever, so we have had more time to see. If one player wasn't there, it would have been different. Guaranteed. They didn't have to elevate anything. They had it orchestrated in a way, and then they had a fake fight upstairs. Jake confirmed that one.
What fight did they have upstairs?
Over the teams and who was being targeted and what was going on, and it was very fake.
But how do you know it was fake? That's what I want to know.
Why else are they working together still now if they said that they would never talk to each other again?
Well, I'm just saying, like, y'all, like, these are the kinds of questions we need to ask them because we're writing a narrative for them when we don't even know if it's the truth or not. And is anybody going to ask them, like, did you have a final 2 the minute, like, you walked in the door and you saw each other? Like, is anybody going to ask that question?
At what point did they believe that the only chance they had of winning was taking each other? Knowing that they were both manipulative, liars, villains in this game, and at what point did they realize we have to take each other to have any shot?
There was no, there was no way they could take me. The only reason, like, no offense to you, but the only reason, like, I think Peyton, like, tried to vote you and keep you is because both of them wanted to take you because they felt like they could beat you.
I disagree.
Well, I think Michelle wins over both of them.
No, I agree, but I think they wanted to keep you around.
Yeah. They definitely thought that they could beat you. Eddie told me.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Because they were worried about, they told me constantly about how they were worried about how much the jury hated both of them.
Yeah.
We did no jury management whatsoever.
Like neither one of them had great jury management, which is
astounding to me because I like obviously like work my ass off, one because I actually like people, like so I don't understand how like I don't know, I'm rambling, somebody go on.
Well, going off of the liking people comment, like there's a level of likability. You know, a lot of us knew they were lying or shady. I mean, like Destiny said earlier, there wasn't a single conversation that didn't start with Peyton and Eddie or blah 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 blah. Peyton and Eddie. They do have a level of likability to them, and someone also said something about game body. Yeah, they were a little bit of game body. They thought that they were gonna beat Michelle, but Michelle is so likable and was so amazing to play with, and like Gatsby alone, like it was so amazing to play with that like even though like Michelle and I were not like end deals or anything, like I would be super happy to see someone like Michelle there because she was so likable, and I think that that's gonna be part of it too. I mean, I think that's why they're there. I just think they're genuinely likable people. And I think that's why, that's one of the reasons that...
They are.
You're making, they're definitely like... Y'all have to understand my position that I'm
right,
in.
Yeah,
because literally I've been in the game the whole time and I've seen everything they've done and I've seen it being lied to by them every single time. So when you tell me they're likable, I'm going to disagree. I'm not saying your opinion's wrong, but I'm going to disagree.
We are referring to them as they as an entity. How can we separate Peyton's game from Eddie's game?
That's not something for us to do. They're gonna have to.
Yeah, they have to.
That's another question that we need to ask them.
I mean, my biggest thing is when I think of them as an entity, to me, Peyton is the face of it, and that's a pro. That's a pro in maybe Peyton's favor, as in like, oh, you were the face, like you know, kind of guiding that ship. But also could be a pro in Eddie's favor. Like to me, if I were ever gonna pick one to vote out, I would have picked Peyton. Because to me, that was just the strategic move.
Because he got this.
Would you feel that one was pulling the strings and the other was spearheading the public view?
I think Peyton made the decisions. Peyton put the bug in there, and then Eddie was like, "Well, I have all these social connections. Let me make it seem like it's beneficial."
Eddie would talk.
Let me make it.
I have a question though.
I
have a question really quick, and I don't know if this is like a thing to ask, but Mark, you shared a room with them.
Yes, I did.
How much did you know about what they talked about?
They did not spend the night in my room last night, and the first night was really just them hooking up.
Oh, so when you shared a room with them, did they talk game inside the room?
I did share a room with them, and I did feel like I was part of their trio, but I knew that they were closer together than I was part of them, and they kind of used rooming together as like something to pull on my strings. But it's them together.
So, I have another question. The people in here that are sitting here, did y'all feel like you had a closer connection to the people you were also rooming with?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So do you think maybe that could have been a factor why they were doing that?
No.
Alright, that's fair enough. I just wanted to see what your opinions were.
All the interactions I had with them, Peyton was the face of it, and like I heard it second from Edmund. If that's something for me to go off of, I'd rather hear it from them directly. And I think in terms of differentiating their game, I think I want to ask something about like telling Peyton, what did Edmund do wrong? Like, and telling Edmund, what did Peyton do wrong? To see like them butting heads, like them make them tell you why the other person did terrible. Even this talk about rooming together, well, they're still a unit. I mean, we have to differentiate them.
I think what separates them is, I think, at least for me, I think Eddie went lengths to reassure all night, 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. Like he went.
You said Eddie did that?
Yeah, he jumped through hoops to make sure that I was 1,000% good with him and he was good with me. Peyton never did that because he just didn't go to that length.
Well, he had Eddie to do that for him.
Yes, so I think that's the big difference. I think Eddie did a lot of stuff that he didn't necessarily need to still get what he wanted.
So who was spearheading all this? Who was the big decision maker?
So I think one of the things that you might, like, you were bringing up and stuff is good about, like, even asking them which moves were yours and which ones were.
Yeah.
Because that'll help them argue about it too.
Yep. I want to ask them, like, what percentage of their lives do they think were, like, crucial to their game? Because, like, I'm not against the villain. I'm not against it. And, like, a lot of us, I think everybody at least has played orgs, like getting to the end without lying at least a little is hard.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just a personal thing. Like lying should be something you have to. Back against the wall, say what you need. So I want to know, like, what percentage to them was crucial. Like,
I feel like their backs were never against the wall and they still went to Link.
Yeah.
and I want to see the percent. I want to know them.
That is my issue right there, is that they told pointless lies that they didn't need to tell at all.
For us to still trust them.
Like looking over at Jake right after it was gonna be, after the vote had tied and saying, "Oh my God, I vote you!" Ha 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 ha. It's like, okay, it's kind of maybe a sore time to do that, and that was Peyton. Thinking it was so hilarious to be like, "Oh my God, I voted you." Isn't that so funny? But then didn't. Like that, like little things like that. That's not cute.
Peyton told me that he was going to play his idol on me right before the vote, when obviously he wasn't. But that's not necessary to say that. It's just not necessary.
Even his
Yeah.
fake little tear thing
Yes.
when we were coming in the double. It's gonna be me. It's gonna like.
Oh, yeah.
I was hilarious.
And the whole fuck you thing.
Yeah.
When you left the game, did Peyton leave a positive impression on you? Yes? Raise your hand.
I think mine's different though, because you didn't have shit to do with me.
Okay, Dan? Well, they're the only two in the final two. I just want to raise a hand because I think this will generate conversation.
I think they
When
did have a part in your elimination.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They really did. 100%. I will tell you that.
100%.
More so an Eddie thing. He wanted you out because he thought that you and Peyton were like this. So he said Destiny has to go. But at that time, we also heard that Stephanie and Mark were a duo, and so Peyton was pushing for Stephanie because he didn't want you to go. So I think that's probably a positive thing for you, but it didn't work out.
I mean, they weren't duo. She just told me.
No, I know. But
We actually,
fighting
we do. We 100% come in.
I still don't think that Peyton, for me, the question was, did Peyton leave a bad taste? I don't think Peyton had anything to do with my personal.
Oh, he
Peyton
did.
didn't have a leave a bad taste in my vote was orchestrated by Eddie.
No, it was Peyton. It was like all of them.
Okay.
So next opposite question. When you left, not now, when you left the game, did Eddie leave a bad taste in your mouth?
Oh, absolutely.
Discuss.
I think at least for me, it was the part, because the game still continues. We're still all here, even though we're not here. We're still here, we're still listening, we're still participating. It's the fake smile, the fake, I'm so sorry, let me give you a hug or whatever. And that's part of the emotional manipulation of being like, it's cool, it's fine, it's just a game. Like, no, you know what you did, own your shit. Like, you don't have to pretend to be chill now. That's not how it worked. Where I think Eddie did that and Peyton was just in the game all the time. He doesn't know how to shut it off.
You saw when they voted me out. Who came to give me a hug first?
He does it for a reason though.
And who did I say, no, I'm not doing this because I'm not going, like, Peyton told me, like, literally early on, before the final, like, 3 stuff started, that he was not taking me. He told me, like, when he voted for you, he's not taking me. Because he said, you will beat me. Eddie was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, would you just fucking tell me? Like, I'm not stupid. I literally knew he wouldn't take me. But he was like, I don't know. And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me I'm your number one and make promises with me that you've made with everybody else sitting here.
Yeah.
So, on the other side, Ascendance tries to elevate your strategic game. How did Edmund fare in the strategic arena?
I think he did pretty well. I mean, he's like me, Jake, her, and Peyton and Eddie sat in there in our room and talked for hours about being a Final 5 alliance. We had a name and everything. Peyton left, he was done, he got what he wanted, obviously. Eddie stayed for another 2 freaking hours.
Yep.
And played it up on us. I
Like
think
why?
he was like wanting us to fulfill it, yeah.
But is that his social game, or was there strategy?
there was
He knew what he was doing in it. Like, I respect a good playing, someone who plays somebody, but I think there was an extent, but he definitely knew
But
what he
he
was
did
doing.
that with y'all and not everybody else. That's not a good strategy to me.
Strategy-wise, though,
But
he
he
did
had us
blindside
three in his
people.
pocket.
The votes, yeah, strategy-wise, he did blindside people.
I don't think there's a single vote that Eddie and Peyton didn't know what was happening.
Not
Exactly.
a single. They might not have known where every single vote was going because there was vote random stuff happening. They knew who was leaving every single round, and who was on the table, and who wasn't. That's strategy.
Yeah, my point is
I-
he made sure it was going to happen.
Yes,
He wasn't going to leave until he knew for her.
I think if I had to compare their strategy, I think Peyton had way more of it than Eddie did. I think Eddie's was more social and more emotional, and Peyton's more strategic and less emotional.
I have to disagree. I think Eddie's strategic game is apparent with him winning the challenge, recapping, challenge names, team.
That's true.
And that is something that's pivotal to strategy. It took a while. He knew the name of the comp, who went home, what team. And that is strategy. He won Captain's Challenge multiple times, and he was able to navigate who was on. He won Captain's Challenge one time, and was able to navigate which team was created so that he furthers himself.
On the other side, how was Peyton's strategic game in this season?
I would say when I'm thinking about Peyton's strategy, the way I perceive it is he was very round by round. I don't think that he was super big picture, and I think, pros and cons of that versus Eddie. I do think Eddie might have been more big picture. Which one's better depends on the cast, depends on the game, depends on the format. But I do think that Peyton might have been frantic, but that's not exactly a negative. He was quick on his feet. That's a positive. He was quick on his feet, but I don't think I think it was, okay, we're done with final 15, now I gotta worry about final 14 instead of, bigger chunks of the game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Honestly, I think that Eddie being big picture is what's getting him in the launch trouble right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he was so big picture that he took it too far a lot.
Well, I heard directly from Peyton a lot, but hearing Edmund's more big picture, and even if he's taking it too far, I still need to take a step back because I have to respect big picture. I outweigh it over these emotional heartstrings you're talking about. I think Peyton even did that as well. I mean, when he said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, when he very much knew that I was going to go home, I think both people did it. I'm hearing stories from both sides. So, really that's the thing that's going to do it for me, is playing big picture. It's really hard right now to decide.
I do think big picture is generally more important, but Peyton did frantic well. It's not
Do you think
exactly
it was real, or do you think it was an act?
I
What
feel like it was
was
an
it?
act.
I do too.
I don't think he was frantic at all.
I agree.
I think he knew exactly.
Well,
think he was-
frantic may not be the right word.
Like,
I
understand,
think he was
like,
short-sighted.
short-sighted.
Yes,
I don't
that's
think he was
more-
as short-sighted as it's maybe seeming. I think he knew it. I think he just really handed up sometimes. Really handed up sometimes.
No, he absolutely did.
Absolutely. Well, we saw it, so.
But I think I will disagree. I think he was very short-sighted. I think he was very quick on his feet. He didn't know exactly what he wanted to do every round, and he had to get a feel for everybody. I don't think he
I don't think it was this round this, next round that. I don't think it was ever this. It was these 5 minutes this. Okay, now I'm gonna see these 3 minutes this. That to me is what Peyton did. To me, it could be a positive, could be negative. To me, that's a little bit more negative. I do think big picture is more important, but
I want to add one thing in here before you stop talking about it, because y'all don't know a lot about this. He would tell us multiple times that he would change his vote when he walked up to the voting table. So I think he took the time to talk to everybody, get an idea whatever he's doing, and see what moves he could make. I just wanted to add that in there because I didn't know.
That's also a positive. I mean, yeah, big picture is important, but the ability to think on your feet.
Being adaptable.
And yeah, I mean, that's a valid strategy on its own.
Bring me to the last question I have. A key to winning Ascendance with the ever-changing setup of the game is being adaptable. So you guys have already naturally led yourself to that conversation. Talk about how both players were adaptable, or if they struggle with adaptability, and how you see their game in that light.
I think Peyton struggled because whenever it was the double elimination and he thought that me and Jake might vote with Jeff and vote him out, he was freaking out. He was like, well, even then, he thought Jeff had an idol, and he said, he almost demanded that I give him my idol. And I was like, I'm not using it on you. So I think he was so frantic that he was trying to make me do things, and I'm obviously not going to do that.
And I just want to add something to what you're saying, just so y'all can talk about it. He didn't have a lot of confidence until he got the idol.
Yes,
For sure.
I agree. I was
And
just
so
about
y'all
to say
have to think about that a little bit too.
Yeah, when he had the idol, he had that safety net, and when he knew what was going on, he knew the target wasn't on him. He didn't really care what he did. He went game bot mode and was just like shooting people off one by one.
Confidence, but every start of the conversation was Peyton shady. I wouldn't be confident either if every single person was like, "You're shady." You're
But
right.
he made
You
people
should have
lived up to
feel
it.
like
Yes, you did.
he made people feel like they could trust him, and
He
they
really
both
did.
did. Yeah.
Everybody good? They said their piece?
No, but wait till we have finale.
Welcome everyone to the season 1 finale of Ascendance Live! Once again, congratulations to Peyton and Edmund on making it to the finale. What is going to happen is Peyton and Edmund will plead their case to the jury. The jury members all have one question each. They will ask you, and then from that point forward, you will give a closing speech, and then the jury members will go and vote. Peyton, since you won the final captain challenge of the season, you get to decide who goes first in their opening speech, and whoever does will close.
Okay, he can go first.
Alrighty, Edmund, whenever you are ready.
Hey babes. So honestly, night 1 coming into this house, I had no idea what I was getting myself into besides the fact that it was the game of Ascendance. I'd never done this before. I walked in and I didn't know, honestly, mostly everybody here. I knew 3 people walking in, which was Peyton, Mark, and Stephanie. Obviously I felt fine with them, but Peyton told me he knew everyone. Jeff was spitting out that I already won Ascendance before in front of everybody. So honestly, the anxiety was going right away. Didn't know anyone. But then later that night after everything was happening, I was outside with Jake and Sarah and we were vibing and I calmed down, and that's when I realized Jake and Sarah are who I want to ride with. Later that night, I never had the chance to talk to Jake, but me and Sarah formed a final 2, which is hearsay, because he was talking hearsay in the bathroom, walking through closets, and Sarah is who I wanted to ride this whole game with. Obviously that did not happen that way, but so honestly the first day I was just trying to survive. I felt good with both me and Peyton's connections. We were in a majority on each team every time, and I was coasting. I was really worried about Destiny the first night just because Destiny was very not out there, but you speak your mind, you say what you want to say, and you don't apologize for it. And that not intimidates me, but scares me because I'm kind of an insecure person, even though I try to look like I have it all together. So the second day goes, we're sweating all day, I barely slept, barely ate, did the swimming, the running, and I was just exhausted. I went captain, and honestly, I was so happy I won the captain because I got the tea from both teams that night. We had all night to discuss and scatter, and Michelle pulled me aside because she visibly saw something was wrong. And so when Michelle pulled me aside and said, "Girl, what's up? Like, are you okay?" That's when I knew, okay, I want to work with Michelle long term. So after everything settled down, I finally had a chance to talk to Erica because she was kind of safe for the majority of pre-jury, but I just enjoyed that Erica seems like a genuine person. And then that's when I realized her and Michelle were roommates, and we made the final 5 of us, Jake, and Peyton. And then with Sarah, I wanted to include Sarah in that to include my plan for Jake and Sarah. So after we realized and compared notes that we basically had all the powers in the game, I knew going into today that there's no reason for me to be anxious. I just had to fucking get the job done, which clearly we did. I think there's a lot of things me and Peyton did not do together, even though we've had a final 2 since the beginning. And once I realized that Jake and Sarah were not on the same page, that was a problem. And once I realized Erica and Michelle were on the same page, that's when I knew I want to ride with Erica and Michelle. But Peyton's idol kind of complicated that, and that's why I feel like me and Peyton ended up in the final 2. I know you guys are really mad at me. I've had a pretty good relationship with pretty much everyone on this couch. I think the only person I really didn't have to have a game relationship with or get to game with was you, Jeff. So everyone else here, we had plenty of conversations about the game, one-on-one, so I knew where all your heads were at, and I know y'all are pissed, and I'm ready to take an ass beating. So come at me, be gentle. But yeah, that's I didn't have to rely on powers to be here. It was just my connection to ground. So that's it.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm just going to try to keep this about my game and what I did and not necessarily directed at my personal one-on-one relationships with everybody, because I feel like we're going to get into that when you grill me with questions, and I can't wait to grill in questions. But just before I start, I just want to say thank you to Nicole. She's been one of my best friends for a few years now, so I'm glad I got the opportunity to come and get some time off work. So thank you for casting me and believing that would be a good fit for the cast. Coming in, or actually on the way here on the plane, I was very, very, very anxious because, one, I knew that I would probably know everyone, if not most of you, and then walking into the house, the first thing I hear is Galen, "Oh my God, I knew you were gonna be here!" So I was like, oh, okay, perfect, great. So I don't see that as a benefit personally. I see that as that's freaking hard. This is gonna be hard because everyone is, one, gonna trust me, or two, feel like they can gravitate towards me because we have prior connections. And I didn't feel like I could personally be like, okay, well, I have your back because we know each other, I have your back because we know each other. Like, I had to kind of pick and choose which friends that I could like be with or that I had to distance myself from. So I came in, immediately connected with Destiny, Stephanie, Mark, and Eddie. And it was just natural for me. Those were the people that I first had conversations with when I got in here. And it was just the vibe that I got. So I went to Destiny and I told her that I get very good vibes from you, and then I told her the other people. And then I kind of got us all in a room and I said, this five right here are the people that, until jury, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to ride with. I want to try to look out for you guys. But I tried to make sure not to promise anyone that I would never vote for them. The one person in this cast that I 100% never would have voted for is Miss Destiny Doppler. I never went against you. I even told Mr. Edmund that when he was orchestrating the vote to get you out, that you cannot tell me, if you need to get her out, go for it, do it, but you cannot tell me because she will grill me and she will sniff it right out of me, and I'm not gonna lie to her. So if you need to do it, don't tell me. So when the double started, I kind of felt the five of those poor people that I was working with kind of started to break off because I knew that he wasn't really trusting Destiny from the beginning. A lot of people were pinning Stephanie and Mark together, and then people were pinning us as a duo forever. So I was kind of starting to not really worry, but try to kind of figure out where I wanted to like weave out after that. And those were the times when my relationships that I was kind of keeping at arm's way was with Sarah, with Erica, with Jake, with Michelle. And so I was kind of, day one, pre-jury, I was keeping them at arm's length, not really giving them information, taking their information from them, and then using it to come to you, and kind of just figure out what we needed to do. And then finally, when I knew Destiny was going, I was like, okay, I need to find a new bitch. And then I was like, actually, wait, I don't really need to find a new bitch. Look out for yourself. And that's what I did. I didn't want to kind of move from one person to one person to one person because I can't promise Destiny that I'm never going to vote for her. And then I'm not going to promise that, like Erica, I'm never going to vote for you because then you're at the end and you promised everyone something and you can't follow through with it. So at that point, I just kind of wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to promise anyone that I would never vote them out. And then this is when little white lies that I tell, are you gonna vote for me? Absolutely not, no. That's when it kind of got, like, I kind of got in trouble there. I know there was times that I told Erica, I'm not gonna vote for you. I told Jake multiple times, I'm not gonna vote for you. I'm sorry, I did. And you can grill me on it, and I'm not gonna have the perfect answer, like, oh, this is why I did it. I did it because it was best for me at the end of the day. I was looking out for myself,
At other live games that I've gone to, I didn't look out for myself, and I got eliminated because of it. So that was a promise I was going to make to myself, that no matter what, I'm going to have one ride or die at the end, and that was her, and then I'm going to look out for myself. I don't care if I have to lie, I don't care if I have to stretch the truth, I'm going to get there. And then the only one thing that I 100% regret and think I did wrong was not trusting my fucking gut to idol Sarah, because I looked at her and I said, I don't feel right, and then she went home. And then at the end, the only reason I voted for Stephanie in the end was because I got that same gut feeling and I did not want to be wrong twice. So I'm kind of ready to be grilled. I think I deserve to be grilled. I think I deserve to have really in-depth questions, because I feel like a lot of people probably think that I'm a liar, which I did lie. So I'm ready to speak my truth. I'm proud of the game that I played. I think I played a very out and open game, and my name was never really on the table to be voted for. And I was very, very, very vocal in my groups. And I was the one that kind of threaded all my groups together and all my people together. And without me, a lot of people wouldn't have had information that I was working closely with. I knew where all the powers were as soon as I made my final five with Erica, Jake, Michelle, Eddie, and myself. And I knew that where the idols were, and I knew where the powers were. And then, sadly, Stephanie gave me the key and opened it, and I ripped the idol out of the box and ran away. So I had that too. So I kind of just knew where things were going to go and what was happening with powers. So I never had to worry about that either. So yeah, I'm ready to be grilled, and I'm ready to own my game.
All right, we have Destiny.
Fix myself here. Congratulations to both of you getting here. You both had amazing speeches. I think as a jury, we wanted to have the lies cut out and the bullshit cut to a minimum. So if you guys could just give us honesty, we would appreciate it. And to start it off, we're going to start with, how did your existing relationships impact your gameplay, and how did you use them to your advantage or disadvantage? I get to pick a go first?
Yeah.
Eddie, you can start first.
So like I said, coming into here, I only had 3 relationships, which was Mark, Stephanie, and Peyton. Obviously, I made a final 2 with Peyton right away, and I felt good with Mark and Stephanie because we're the Vikes squad. So they helped me because I feel like we were able to kind of scurry and know that we would always come back at the end of the day to survive free jury. But what was the other half of the question?
How did it impact your gameplay, positive and negatively?
Well, I think it's positive because Peyton's connections at the beginning is what kind of helped me coast through pre-jury, but I feel like my connections at the end are what helped me basically do everything I did today in the merge. I lied a lot, but it's what I had to do. Stephanie and Mark, I think Mark would have gone home instead of you, Destiny, if he didn't win, and I was ready to split up Mark and Stephanie. But I knew I couldn't go against Sarah because I was loyal to Sarah, and I knew she was not going to get rid of Stephanie at final, 11? And like he said, he was ride or die for you, and I knew that. And I knew that because I exposed Peyton to Nick, and when that got back right away, that's when I knew that you were going to be a problem.
Hey, like I said, kind of in my opening, I was on my way here. I'm 99% sure I was going to know at least half the cast. I'm all around the org community. I'm very, very into Ascendance. I figured there'd be a lot of Ascendance alumni here. So walking in the door, I see familiar face, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I didn't have the luxury of being able to come in and say, hi, I'm Peyton, I'm a sales director, I do this, and paint people's narratives how I wanted to be painted. Most of you have preconceived notions of me. Most of you know that, how I play orgs or what I do, this. I didn't have the opportunity to make my own path for people. They kind of already know, like, oh, well, you did this in this game, so I'm going to be mad at you for this. So I wasn't able to be honest with a lot of my friends because I can't be honest with I can't just promise my friends everything. So I'm like Nick, one of my closest friends. I talk to him every single day. And our games were not connecting. So yes, I did at one point try to throw him in, and it didn't work. And that was something that almost ended my game. So I didn't let that stuff get in the way. I didn't let my
conceived ideas of who people thought I was get in the way of my game. I just maneuvered around it. And then the people that I didn't know as well, Sarah, I've never talked to in my life. Michelle, I've never talked to in my life. Those were two of my most actual, like not in alliance kind of things that, or didn't know before that actually helped my game the most, was their relationships with me. So, yeah.
Alrighty, up next we have Jeff.
Alright, hey guys. I don't really hold any grudges against you guys, and I'm also still now truly undecided where I'm going to vote. And through listening to different stories from the roundtable, I'm having trouble differentiating your game. You're sort of perceived as a duo. So what I want to know is from each of you, what do you think the other person did wrong in their game? Like any specific game move or their overall strategy? Help me differentiate
They
you
did
guys.
wrong?
Yeah, like you disagree with, you think they did wrong.
Okay.
So everyone would like to go first.
You want to go first? You want first?
Okay.
Okay. I think that the main thing Eddie did wrong was saying that he didn't know a lot of people and then saying he had to lie. When you don't know people, you can make genuine connections with people and you don't have to lie. I think that was a path that Eddie chose. There was multiple times when he looked straight at me and he said, "I've lied to everyone here." And I said, "Yes, I have too." But I also think that a lot of the core groups we were in, I guess minus his final two with Sarah, I was the thread for that. I was the thread at the day one of getting these two not to kill each other, because they have huge personalities and they have very different gameplays. And there was two people I wanted to go far with. So I think I just kept him on track with the people that I wanted to be on track with. And he's even mentioned it in his speech that my connections helped him. My connections helped him get through day one. My connections helped him make jury. So I don't know, I think maybe he just didn't take accountability enough in the game. When I was walking around, I know people knew I was lying in the game. I still played the way that I wanted to play. So, and I'm not sorry for it.
So what I think Peyton did wrong in this game is that I feel like Peyton tries to play like he really did not try and be devious with what he was doing. He knew his intentions behind his moves and he knew what he was doing the entire time. I didn't solely rely on Peyton's connections, but they helped me, of course, because why not? It was a safety net. I had the safety net, but I wanted to explore my other connections with you guys. So my thing with Peyton is that, yeah, Peyton was running around, but I don't think Peyton would have made it as far if he didn't find the idol, or because what he did wrong was like voting Jake. I think him going against Jake was very bad, and that was what solidified me to be in the middle in the final six, because it was me, him, and Stephanie, and then everyone else was pissed at him because he went against our group of 5, and that's why I never got a vote besides the one he got at the beginning, and Jake still voted for Peyton on his way out. So I think Peyton's perception is a little skewed. I guess I chose that path, but it's because when I don't know a lot of people, I don't know where your head is truly at, because I don't really know you as a genuine person. It's like we have 3 days here. It's like I'm not going to know you like a book back to front to back. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a path I chose because I made sure I had my bases covered all the time, but I had to be careful with which bases I was stealing at which moment. To where I feel like he made some mess ups when he voted for Stephanie at the final 4, when he voted for Jake at the final 7, because that kind of ruined his social capital, and I had free rein to do whatever I pleased.
Alrighty, up next we have Michelle.
Hey guys, I just want to start by saying, just remember to cut the bullshit because we're kind of rap at it. Anyways, going on, my question is I want to know how many final 2s and 3s you guys made and which ones were genuine.
Me first?
Who just went first?
You picked it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think I kind of already talked about this. My final 2 I was really genuine with was Sarah, and then when we were having that conversation outside by the pool after the first night, I really liked you and both you, Jake and Sarah, sorry. But like I said, y'all just were not at the same page, and y'all had different paths that you were thinking of, or protecting different people. I think when I realized that you, Jake, were closer to Erica than I anticipated, that's when I started to realize that they were gonna go their separate ways. But every time I talked to Erica and Michelle, they were always on the same page. We always knew what we were doing. We always had the same thoughts about which steps we should take when we needed to take them. So I don't want to say, honestly, I was always having conversations saying like, who do you want to go to 3 with? You know what I mean? Like, we're good. Like, the only real final 2 I feel like I said was Peyton and Sarah. Final 3 was us, sorry, all kids who are pointing. My final 3 with Jake and Sarah, my final 3 with Michelle and Erica. Yeah, I mean, Stephanie, Peyton. I told Stephanie I would take her to the final 2 also. But honestly, after Peyton flipped and voted up Stephanie at 4, I just felt like her resume was going to be too hard to beat.
Okay. Actually, funny enough, Destiny and I never actually made a final 2. But I was going to the end with her no matter what. We made a final 2 sometime early game. And then there was lots of times when I said, yeah, I want to go to the end with you. But a lot of people I didn't actually physically say, let's make a final 2. But I did tell Michelle I want to go to the end with you when we were standing over there, and then Erica, I said, me, Erica, and Eddie had a final 3, and I knew he was taking me, so I made sure I was good with Erica just in case we got to the final 3, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. And then I guess Stephanie and Eddie, I'm not really going to count that as a solidified final 3, just because we were at the end. We were final 4 or 5 when we started talking about it, so obviously I'm not going to say no to something.
Final 4 for
Final 4, yeah. So what's one round? Like, so no, I'm not going to count that as like a solidified thing. All my solidified groups were made night 1 into right before the double eviction. The main group that I had was at the beginning, the 5, but you just asked for 3s, so my main actual 3 was boop, boop.
We can't tell who you wanted to.
Eddie, Erica.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Sarah.
Great. Well, congratulations to both of you guys. Really mean that. To be sitting here is a big accomplishment. I think it's clear, and I think you're going to hear more about this, that we don't necessarily respect everything you guys did as players. And I think I respect lies and blind sides, but to the extent that we have seen and have all talked about that you guys did for that, we don't respect that. And so if you were to win, are you proud of the way that you played? Just be fully transparent. Are you proud of every single move that you made?
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. Every single move that I made, absolutely not. No. Overall, I will be very happy with how I played. That's it.
Okay. Am I proud of every move and how I kind of tackled them and the way I acted? No, because when I get into an atmosphere like this, it's brain, it's logic. Usually I'm someone that leads with my heart. I like genuine connection. So when we're forced to kind of be deceptive, that kind of starts to take over for me. So I'm not proud of the way I acted, but I'm proud of my game because
I think I played the fuck out of this game. I was working with all of you, and I really don't think I was ever really super in trouble.
I was always making rounds and always made sure that when things were getting, like when notes were getting swapped, that I knew when they were getting swapped, who were they getting swapped to, so that way I knew what I had to say to who in which moment. So I'm proud of my game. Am I proud of how I acted? Not necessarily, but yeah, I'm proud. I'm here for a reason.
Alrighty. Up next, we have Mark.
Congratulations, you two. You know I love you both, and I wish you both the best of luck. At any point in this game, do you ever feel that you may have talked down to anyone, or if the way you presented words could negatively affect your game? We'll start with Eddie.
I tried to be as kind as I could, but clearly, like I said, when the game starts going and I hear stuff going on behind my back, I get a little sassy, okay? First they're sour, then they're sweet. What's the Sour Patch Kid thing? I don't know. but I have both sides to me. So I think honestly the only person that I got super pointed with and really like talked to like that was Peyton, because he would like kind of raise his voice at me at points or kind of talk to me a certain way, and I would say, do not speak to me that way. I feel like when the game gets going, I just kind of get caught in the moment sometimes, so if I did that to any of you, then I apologize, but I don't think I ever really did it in a malicious, mean way. It was more so just the drama of the game getting to my head since I was so anxious.
Okay, so this is not going to be a shock, but I'm a sassy dramatic bitch. When this is made into episodes and everyone goes back and watches the tapes, you're going to see me say things that are dramatic and sassy and bitchy. I say things and that's just what I do. It just comes out. Did I say things that were hurtful or degrading? Absolutely not. I am not that type of person. I don't have to try to not be that type of person. I know that if I get heated, it's going to be about the game. And are you going to look back and be like, oh my god, I can't believe he said that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Any conversation I have is going to contradict another conversation I had. And that's just the deceptive part of my game. So am I disappointed with anything that I said to anyone? No, because I don't think I was mean or hurtful to anyone. And if I was, let me know and we can talk about it, and I will sincerely apologize. I'm a growing person. I try not to be mean to people. So yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, up next we have Jake.
Hi guys, congrats. Congratulations you two. You guys did awesome. I think all 14 of us would kill to be in your spots, so it's a huge accomplishment. So most of us, we play these games. We know that manipulating people is a big portion of it to get what you want. Myself as well as a lot of the jury think that there was a little bit of an excessiveness when it comes to how you handle certain situations. Personally with me, especially with you, Eddie.
Okay.
So my question for both of you, do you think it was a little excessive, and like why, I guess my question would be like, why did you go to such great lengths when a lot of the jury doesn't necessarily think you needed to in certain situations?
Honestly, Jake, like, my thing is like, when we were talking last night, we talked a few times. I pulled you to the side, you pulled me to the side a few times. And that's because, like I said, I was so genuine with working with you and Sarah all the way. So when you told me you had doubts about me and that you thought I was plotting against you, I was genuine when I was talking to you. I'm like, what did I do to make you feel that way? I'm sorry, because that's who I want to ride with. So I feel like really the only time, like how you said like I tried to lie to you about my power, it was swap teams. We had a majority for teams each time. I wasn't worried about my stupid, useless power, okay? And plus, I thought Sarah already told you because I thought you and Sarah were super tight at first. So, because when I knew that she told Stephanie, and Stephanie came up to me and says, what power did you get? I was like, what the fuck? And that's also when I knew that Stephanie and Sarah were a lot closer than I anticipated. I think it was definitely very manipulative, but like I said, it's just a side that takes over once these games start. I've talked about it with a few of you guys about how like this is usually how I act when it comes to like strategy and stuff. I'm just a party girl. I'm trying to have a good time. Y'all see hot tub party, beer pong tournament, let's party. So I'm usually just for a good vibe, but this kind of sucks the good vibes out of it. But I just wanted to do it because I don't think I would be sitting here if I didn't do that. I honestly think y'all not splitting up me and Peyton was a major mistake, and that's why Michelle, when I went to you right away at the final 7 and I said I'm worried, it's because I thought that's when y'all were going to use that at the prime time to take a shot at us. Really the only time I ever lied to you, I think, unless you have other examples that you like to talk about afterwards, was when I wrote your name down, because I was sticking true to my final 3 with Erica and Michelle.
First, I will address manipulation with you in general. To be honest with you, you are never, ever a part of my end game at all. I didn't start connecting with you until mid the 2nd day. And the only reason I ever did connect with you and take you far and include you in things was because of Erica. I wanted you to go to the end with the end, final 2-3 with Erica, and I knew that you were not going to be split up anytime soon. So I roped you in when I needed to, and I wrote your name down when I needed to. And then quite frankly, I did that with a lot of you, pretty much every one of you. Like I said, I made a promise to myself to never put down Destiny's name.
and I did not promise myself that I would never write down anyone else's. And that's just how I play the game. Was there other ways to go about it? Absolutely. But once I start a game one way, it's very, very, very difficult to switch your gears and play truthfully, because then people are like, well, what are you doing now? Like, you're holding interchanged. So yeah, you were never in my in game. That's just it. So it was very, very easy for me to write your name down. It was. And that's why it's really not even manipulation when it came to me and you. That's just it. I didn't care about lying to you because you're never my in game. So.
Alrighty, up next, we have Nick.
Congrats, Final Two. All of us in this room know from orgs or LRGs that getting to the Final Two is not easy, and it's not easy to get there, especially without telling a lie. But there have been a lot of lies detected by the jury that were not necessary. In my opinion, I have to say that lies should generally be when they are most crucial to your game. So the question I have is, what percentage, and I just want a number and no explanation, what percentage of your lies were crucial to your game that you had to say? Okay, you can go first.
45%.
80%. Alrighty, up next we have Erica. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to know how much of your time spent here was being genuine and how much of it was just to further your game.
So like I said, when I try to talk to you guys, I try to be genuine when just forming the relationship. When it comes to the game, that's when I tend to not be as genuine, because I'm just trying to make sure that anything that happens, it's foolproof for my game to where I'm not in trouble. But every time I've opened up to a few of you about just emotional things, personal things, that was always genuine. That wasn't me doing that for the game. And that's why I got close to who I got close to, because I confided that in certain people, and certain people listened, and I could tell some people were just letting me be their shoulder to cry on. So the people that genuinely let me cry on their shoulder for as long as I wanted to, that's who I was genuine with, and that's who I wanted to ride with, which was who we did ride with.
Okay. So I mean, I was genuine on a level with everyone. Obviously, games you can't. You're gonna lie to people. That's just it. If your question is in regards to like between nights and blah 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 blah, if everything that I did was for this game, absolutely not. I worked like 90 hours a week. Like, I wanted to get away from work. I almost didn't even think I was going to be able to come. So no, absolutely, I'm going to cut up and have a truly. No, it's not all for game. And there's not one person in this entire room that I don't get along with. Like, I don't dislike anyone here. So it's easy for me to be genuine with people. That's just, one, it's my job, and two, if I don't like you, I don't like you, and I'll tell you, and I haven't told that to anyone here. The only person that I really don't connect really, really well with, shocker, Jeff, I know you know this, it's very hard for us to have conversations sometimes, but we still manage to cut up anyways. So yeah, I mean, it's genuine when it's game, it's game. And there was never a time when I was like, ooh, I'm gonna take this personal information over here and make it a game. Like, no. I think that's devious, and I think that's very, very crossing the line. I don't think either of us did that. I didn't really ever have super like cry on the shoulder moments with anyone, because I tried to keep it together this time. So, but yeah, I think there's times to be genuine and cut up and have fun, and there's time to play the game. And I think that I had a good time between it.
Alrighty, and finally, we have Stephanie.
Okay, so one of the things that Destiny started out with in here was don't lie, don't bullshit us. And I have felt this whole time that y'all have been telling certain lies while you're still going on. One thing that I want to just clearly point out is you did not know about my power, so I'm not giving you that. Okay, so regardless of that, we don't need to comment on it. For me, y'all wouldn't take me to the final two because you knew the jury would probably vote me over you. But why did you not work as hard on jury management if you were so worried about that? What did you do for jury management? Because clearly a lot of us don't see it. I don't remember who went first, but go opposite.
I think I go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I didn't clocker jury management skills until right before I voted you in Final Four. I think that I was clouded by our relationship and clouded by not wanting to vote for you. And then at the end, that's where my instincts kicked in. Do what you need to do, not what you want to do. So that's why I voted you last second. I knew you were gonna clean sweep either one of us. And at that point, it's not of what I did wrong or what I could fix. It's just at a certain point in the game, I noticed, and it's just too late for me to change what I was doing. I can't manage a jury that's already on the jury. So yeah, I mean, that's really just it. There was never a time that I was like, oh, you should change the way you're playing. I think you played one of the best games here, Stephanie, so there was no way I was going to sit next to you. I would have done anything to not sit next to you when it was Final Four, Final Five, because I knew you were going to win. So that's just it. You were the best player, so I tried to cut you out.
Obviously, both of our jury management wasn't great, but I'll take the responsibility for mine, because like I said, I tried to have everything covered at all times. I think really the best jury management was with Jake and Michelle and even Stephanie, I guess, but I was straight up with you. I was straight up with you because I wanted to be put in a position where I think I was getting taken either way. Not that I didn't think you would take me, but I think Peyton would have taken you for me. I knew in a Final Three situation with Stephanie, he would take me over Stephanie. With everything, how fast everything moves, it's just kind of like, okay, I gotta go here, then I gotta go here, I gotta go here. Last night, I was being pulled left and right because I was the captain on both teams, you know what I mean? So usually, sometimes I'm just rambling and I don't even realize what I'm saying, but I know it's working because everything I wanted to happen basically happened. I know people look at me and Peyton as a duo, but there was a lot of times where we did different things, and every time we split up, it usually worked in my favor, besides the time Erica went home, because he was the reason he went home, not me. So, clearly my jury management wasn't great, but
I hope you guys know it's not personal, just because I know it's easy to change names. So, yeah.
Alrighty, that concludes the jury section. The final two will now have a moment to give a closing speech. Since Edmund started, he will finish. So Peyton, you are up first.
Hello! Just kidding. I've kind of really clocked everything that I felt like I needed to. I'm sorry if I didn't own up to everything I tried. There was a lot in 3 days. Sorry. My shirt came on time. Anyways, there was a lot that happened in 3 days. It's hard to cram it into just now. I have a horrible memory, so a lot of things happened, and boom, 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 boom. It's hard to decipher when this happened, who I was talking to then, who I was talking to then, so I tried my best. I really did. So I'm sorry if I wasn't trying to bullshit you, I wasn't trying to lie, I was just trying to tell everything how I remembered it and how I personally thought it was going. Towards the end game, I was pretty positive Stephanie was going to take me, and I was pretty positive Eddie was going to take me, and I still thought Stephanie was going to beat me, so I flipped my vote, knowing that it would fuck up her bringing me and him bringing me and me not having to win the final comp. So I put myself in that position, and I still won the final comp anyway. So I don't know. I tried to play in a way that was true to myself, in a way that I wouldn't be demoralizing things. So yes, I lied. Yes, I did some unnecessary things. Would I change a few of the things that I said or did, or how I voted? Yeah, I would. I feel like everyone would at the end of the day. Like there's 1 or 2 things, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, that people would just play differently if they had the opportunity to do it again. Do we have an opportunity to do it again? No. So I'm gonna stand by what I do and what I did and what I'm doing. I think I deserve to win this game. I think that I played a good game at stripped of externals. I think this is a deserving final 2. And I think
that's just what I think. So yeah, at the end of the day, vote how your little heart desires. I'm happy with whatever happens. I'm happy with my game, and I'm happy to play. So that's all I have.
First off, I just want to do the obligatory thanks to production. Papa was one of the first people I ever met playing these things, and when he introduced this project to me in its beginning stages, and I played, and I somehow won, it was a blast, so that's why I knew I had to come here and try it in person. Plus, like I said, I wanted to try a live game for the first time, see how well I would actually do, and if it's different in terms of behind a screen or when I'm talking to your face. I have such a passion for this game, and I play this game with my heart, that sometimes my mind leads my heart, and with the strategy in the game, obviously I was a little manipulative, we both were, but it's what I had to do because I knew I wanted to be sitting here in the finals again. I did not think me and Peyton were going to get here. I do not know why you guys let us get here, but I'm grateful because honestly I think that a winner either way this time is good, because Peyton, we're both finalists. I want to win again because I feel like I have something to prove. He wants to win because he needs to get his win he deserved the first time. Sorry, Duke, if you're watching. And I did things in this game. I think you guys know what I did. I don't think you guys are stupid people, and that's why I was so anxious with everything that was going on, is because I felt like at any moment my game could come crumbling down with all the running around I was doing. When I became a captain last night, the only captain's challenge I won, that was probably the best thing for my game socially, because like I said, I was getting tugged left and right into rooms, going over things, seeing where people truly lied to where I knew what path I needed to go down going into today. And I didn't have that anxiety in the back of my head because there was no variables of powers in the game that I didn't know about besides Stephanie's. Stephanie was the only one I did not know about, and even when she whipped that out, I was like, okay girl, she had her moment of putting it together, it was perfect, but everything else I knew because Michelle had the power, Sarah had the power, I had a power, Erica found like fucking 3 or 4, I'm like, okay Erica. So I've had a blast. I hope you guys like had a blast too. I think this has been amazing for like the first time, obviously with the guinea pigs. So like, it's been super fun and chill, and like I can't wait to just chill after this and just talk, because I feel like you guys think I'm like some fake bitch, and it's the game. You know what I mean? And that's all I can say. Everything personally was all real. I did what I had to do to get here because I knew I was a threat no matter what, since I'm the only winner of Ascendance here prior. So I busted my ass, I did the damn thing, and I got here with Peyton, and I'm grateful for everything, and I had a blast playing with all of you, and I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And that's it. Please vote for me. And beer pong tournament after this. So get a partner.
Alrighty, thank you so much, jury and finalists. Jury, the power now shifts to your hands. You will be voting for a winner. Winner. Please know you are voting for a winner. I will not stress this enough. I stress it anymore. I will stress it here. You will be voting for who you want to win. Thank you. The vote is locked. Before I reveal the vote, I just want to say thank you all so much. We've been planning this for like 18 months, and it really means a lot to us because, like, I'm gonna cry.
We've already done that.
Laid out of games.
It's just been so stressful, and we're so like proud and like thankful for all of you.
Wipe away the tears.
It was so much fun. Like the game was so well.
But no, like, just thank you for sticking with us if you've been there. Like, thank you for just like being here and applying when we opened apps again. It means a lot, and like this just proves that like we could really do it. So thank you.
I'm gonna say 2 words because I know nobody's gonna listen to me after this.
1, 2, you're done.
I said this a little bit behind the pre-jury. I don't know if everybody heard it, but we kind of handpicked this cast because we only wanted people we could trust. Because, I mean, there's a lot of risk involved, a lot of things can go wrong, and we really feel like we made the right choice. So every one of you impressed us. You did exactly what we were hoping, and I hope that you're as proud of your game as we are of each and every one of your games.
So give you guys a round of applause. Okay, now let's get to the part that we've been waiting for 3 days. I have the votes. I will reveal the juror and who they voted for. It takes 5 to win. Jeff has voted. Edmund to win.
This is a last minute decision. You changed my mind.
Destiny has voted. Peyton to win. That is 1 vote Edmund, 1 vote Peyton. Nicholas has voted. Peyton to win. That is 2 votes Peyton, 1 vote Edmund. Mark has voted. Edmund to win. We are tied. 2 votes Edmund, 2 votes Peyton.
Party girl knows to lie only when she needs to.
Sarah has voted. Peyton to win. That is 3 votes Peyton, 2 votes Edmund.
I respect that you played the game for yourself, you own that, and you didn't make promises that you couldn't keep.
Erica has voted. Edmund to win. We are once again tied. 3 votes Edmund, 3 votes Peyton. Jake has voted. Edmund to win. That is 4 votes Edmund, 3 votes Peyton, 2 votes left.
So my head and my heart are saying 2 different things, and I'm gonna follow my heart on this one.
Michelle has voted. Peyton to win. We are tied. 4 votes Edmund, 4 votes Peyton, 1 vote left. It all comes down to Stephanie's vote. Stephanie has voted for the winner of Ascendance Live Season 1 and the grand prize.
Thank you for not lying about knowing about my power and not being cocky during that.
Congratulations, Edmund!
I care about this game so much, and like that's why I get so in my head, and like I freak out about it so much, and that's why I lied so much, because I tried to cover as much as I could. And it's just like, I want to thank Papa and Nicole. It's been awesome. I did not think I was going to be able to do this, and I'm so grateful for everything we've like done here. Like, I want us all to be proud of like what we've done, honestly, and thank you guys, honestly. Like,
congratulations!
Season 1 org, 2nd place. Season 1 live, 2nd place. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I put my heart into this game, and I think I really deserve to win, but I think I maybe came off a little bit too cocky. So maybe I should have just drawn it back a little bit. Regardless, I'm proud of how I played, and I stand by everything I said on my speech. So I'm really proud of Edmund. So you just gotta roll with the punches, I guess.
I came into this game an anxious mess because I don't do well in huge groups, and when I just realized I wanted to party and vibe and it was working, that's how I got all my connections to get to the end. And even though I saw other throws, I played the best game, and I'm so proud of winning again. Like, who lets a winner win twice? I'm coming for your crown, Jabbar.